Hey there, everyone, and welcome to Bill's Retro Gaming Show. Well, I gotta be honest with you guys. I am not just a fan of playing games, especially retro video games, but I can be a little bit of a nerd when it comes to the history of those games as well. I love watching documentaries and series on the history of arcade games or companies like Nintendo and Sega and things like that. For me, it's a lot of fun hearing the stories, hearing about how these companies came about and things like that. And to that effect, I'm also a big fan of collecting books that talk about arcade games and series and stuff. I've got a couple of them here, like this one, The Game Console 2.0, A History of Video Game Consoles. And then I've got these two books, Supercade, A Visual History of the Video Game Age. This one goes from 71 to 84, and the follow-up goes 85 to 2001. And on today's video, I want to give you guys a preview of a new book that's coming out later this spring from a company called Retro Game Books. I'll tell you all about it right after this. All right, everyone, as always, thank you so much for tuning in and checking out this video. If this happens to be your first time on the channel, be sure to hit that subscription button, click the notification bell if you want to be notified every time I put up a new video, give this one a thumbs up, and leave a comment below if you want to be part of the conversation. Now, before I get too much further in, I do have to give a huge thank you and shout out to Brian Rigsby. He is one of the people over at Retro Game Books. He is the creator of the book series that I'm going to be talking about today. He did reach out to me to see if I wanted to cover this book series. He was also kind enough to send me digital versions of several of their books, and will be sending me a copy of the book that I'm talking about today for the purpose of review once it gets released later on this spring. So, full disclosure, I did want to mention that before I dive in and get started. Now, this new book is called Video Game Maps SNES Volume 2. Yes, there is a Volume 1. Like I said, they did send me a digital copy of it. I'll show you guys a little preview of that so you can get kind of idea what to expect from this book. But this is now available for pre-order to come out late spring of this year. The hardcover version is going to run $42. And there'll also be a hardcover bundle for $65, which comes with some extra goodies like stickers, a bookmark, a notebook, and things like that. So taking a quick look at the press release for this book, it says, in video games, maps have always played a crucial role, serving as guide, world builder, and interactive element. A single image can add incredible depth to the story and lore of a digital universe. With Video Game Maps SNES Volume 2, experience the beauty and wonder of some of the most iconic Super Nintendo Entertainment System and Super Famicom maps. From the farmlands of Harvest Moon to the dual worlds of Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past, this book showcases the stunning artwork that captured the imagination of gamers around the world. Discover hidden secrets and intricate details within the maps, and marvel at the art styles and design choices that brought these virtual worlds to life. Inside, you'll find maps spanning over 65 games, including Japanese exclusives that originated from guides, posters, instruction manuals, advertisements, magazines, and so much more. Plus, quotes from 30 artists, writers, game developers, podcasters, comedians, and journalists. Perfect for both casual gamers and art aficionados, this book is a must-have for anyone interested in the artistic side of video game design and cartography. So I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a look at this upcoming book so you can get an idea of what to expect from it. Here is a look at the cover, Video Game Maps SNES. This is Volume 2. You can see down at the bottom here, they've got 1, 2, and 3. So Volume 1 did come out a while back. Unfortunately, right now it's only available in digital edition. This is Volume 2 set to come out later this spring, and then Volume 3 will be coming out at a future time. Now, I did talk to Brian about this. They are planning on republishing Volume 1 at some point in the future, probably once Volume 3 comes out, so that people will be able to get all three at once if they want. I'll run through some of the pictures that I have of the book so you can get an idea, again, of what to expect from this. Here's a look at Romancing Saga 3. You can see they've got a little bit of information on the game here, and then some art from the game itself. Here's a quick look at the info from Legend of Zelda, A Link to the Past. And what I love about this is not only do they provide some information about the game, not only do you see, you can get a full view of the map here, but there's even some exclusive info from the Japanese releases, some things that might not have seen the light of day here in the US. So it's a great compendium of information about these games. And while you would think that RPGs would be such a big focus for a book like this because maps are such an important part of an RPG, that is not the case. You can see here that they've got maps for Mega Man X as well, so you can get an idea of some of the levels, how they lay out, which, I'll tell you, back in the day, stuff like this definitely would have helped when you were playing the game to have an idea of what to expect from each of the levels, especially a game like Mega Man where you can pick which level to play, to get to the end boss, to get the end boss's power to go on to the next one, maybe help with some of that strategy. And if you're curious about exactly what games are going to be represented in this book, here is a look at all 65 of the games that will be featured. And of course, like I said, there is going to be a bundle for this as well. Not only will you get the hardcover book, but you're going to get a notebook to go with it, stickers, a bookmark, and an art print of Yoshi's Island. So this will run you $65, where the hardcover on its own will be $42. Of course, I will have a link in the video description so you can get to the Retro Game Books website to see what they have on offer. Unfortunately, a lot of the hard copies of these books are sold out. However, you can get digital versions. They're available in PDF, Mobi, and EPUB versions. Actually, once you buy the digital, you get all three of those, so you can use your reader of choice to read it if you like. Me personally, I really like hard copies of these books. The digital is fun. It's nice to have. I like to take them on my phone or on my tablet so I can kind of just have them on the go with me whenever I want. But it is nice to get a hard copy as well. Hopefully some of these will come back in stock. Like I said, the SNES Volume 1 hopefully will come back in stock once Volume 2 and Volume 3 get released. Maybe the same will be true for some of these others. You can see they've got a maps book for NES and Famicom as well. They've got maps for Genesis and Mega Drive. They've got the complete history of Rygar and several other fun books. So before I end the video, I am going to give you guys just a quick sneak peek at one of the other books. Like I said, they were kind enough to send me digital copies of several of their other books. This is Volume 1 of the Super NES and Super Famicom Maps book. You can see here on their table of contents all the games that are represented in the first volume. So here's a quick look at one of the games represented in this book, ActRaiser, just to give you kind of an idea of what to expect from a book like this. I'm just going to run through it really quick so you can get kind of an idea of what they have available. But there you have it, just a really quick look at the first volume of this book. So like I said, you can get an idea of what to expect in this second volume that is coming out sometime in late spring. Again, I will have a link to the website so you can check it out for yourself. You can pre-order it if you like. $42 for the hardcover, $65 for the bundle. Now, for me personally, I'm excited to get my hands on this. Again, they were kind enough to say that they would send it out to me for review, so expect a follow-up video once I get my hands on it to give you guys a little bit more information and my thoughts on the book itself. But I'd say I loved back in the day getting magazines like Nintendo Power or Electronic Gaming Monthly, and they would feature some of these games and they would have maps and information and things like that on it. It was always fun to get things like that, especially a game you were playing and maybe you were stuck, maybe you needed a little help. Having that map, having some more information was always really helpful. So I'm excited to see somebody take information from those magazines, from books, from, instruction manuals, something we don't get nowadays with games, and compile it into a book like this. It seems like it's going to be a lot of fun. Whether you're a gaming history nerd like me, or whether you think it might actually be helpful for you in playing some of these old retro games, it's definitely something worth checking out. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Are you interested in things like this? Do you like books and history and things on these video games, on arcade games, on stuff like that? Let me know. But that's going to do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please go ahead, leave me a like, leave me a thumbs up, leave me some comments below. And of course, if you're not subscribed to the channel yet, go ahead and do that as well. And if you want to support the channel even further, you could consider getting a membership. But that's all for now. I will see you guys on the next one. Take care and happy gaming.